everyone, thanks for being here. I've just connected with my team and I was already aware of a theme for this morning, which is karmic bonds. So this is about karmic relationships, relationships you may be in where you feel that there is some work to be done here, some healing, some lessons to grow and, expand upon. And for those of you who are in a situation where you feel that perhaps things are not working out, or you feel trapped, or perhaps it's just expired its contract, perhaps you're nearing the end of what was agreed upon for that connection and that relationship, then I feel that this is really important to hear, that no matter what has happened up until this point, everything has happened for a reason and everything was meant to be as it was, because we choose to come here and learn from these experiences, these connections, and we choose those that we are sort of willing to align with and grow with. And you chose that person on a soul level. So no matter how things may have unfolded here and now on the 3D realm, you chose it in advance before you incarnated to come here and learn those lessons alongside that person. They are basically your teacher and your guide. And for anyone who is in a situation where it may feel strained and difficult, and you may find your relationship with that person is awkward or tense or perhaps even manipulative, controlling, then please understand that you have agreed to that for your own personal growth. And please don't get this muddled up with toxic relationships, abusive relationships. You will know in your heart, in your deepest place within, whether or not this was something that was meant to teach you, or whether or not it has sort of come out of nowhere and it's not what you chose. But most of the time, this person is just somebody that's kind of riding alongside us. It's almost like the sidecar, if you think of those motorbikes with the little car at the side. It's somebody that's chosen and agreed to work with you and come on this path together to help you, to keep getting you back to where you need to be, to not get you into a place where you will going to go off course and you're going to railroad and lose yourself. They will keep constantly challenging you to bring yourself back in to who you truly are. And that may not look as it you would like it to. It may not be all shiny and wonderful and like magical. No, it can sometimes feel really tough, really painful, really frustrating. You might find this connection with this person really, really intense, and they might irritate you, aggravate you, wind you up, and you can't understand why they always have that sort of effect on you, why you're always triggered by that person. But the triggering is moving you into action, into the right direction, redirecting you to make sense of your path and your purpose and your mission. So anybody who, as I say, is feeling stuck or lost, or feeling just perhaps a little bit withdrawn, they're feeling that this sort of journey is dull now and there's nothing there, that will be because it is nearing its expiry date. So it's almost as if you have done what it is you need to do, but it will not expire until you recognize what you have achieved, what you have learned, and take credit for those lessons that you have put under your belt now. Acknowledge what you have done together as a team, because that's what it is. It's not one-sided. Although somebody will choose to come and assist with that person's learning and healing and growth, they too in themselves as a soul will learn from that experience. So it works for both parties. But you must become aware of what it is you've come here to do, or what you have already achieved. And then when you can acknowledge that and accept it and embody it, then you're free to move on. You're free to release that karmic bond. You know whether or not you've worked through it, and whether you can sort of sever that tie and move forwards. And what a lot of people find themselves doing is to just stay stuck in that same place because it's what's comfortable, it's what's normal, and before they know it, years have passed beyond that expiry date. Because as human beings, we do have the right of free will here. As much as your soul is constantly trying to influence you and communicate and send you information, as are your guides and your loved ones and your team, as an individual human being, we get to choose. So sometimes we do just choose to stay in a situation that isn't in alignment anymore. It no longer resonates. But that's what we've known, and that's kind of where we're comfortable. And it's all about getting your head outside of that comfort zone, putting yourself on an outer perspective, a side viewer, looking in and saying, actually, I feel that we have done these things, we have ticked these things off our list. And there might still be a couple of challenges there, a couple of lessons that you agreed to work on. So perhaps that is why you're still there and you're still doing that. But coming out of the situation, taking a step back and just observing and taking note as to whether or not you feel like you have achieved what it was you set out to achieve. And please don't panic if you have no idea what it is that you came here for. If that's the case, I would recommend you look at that connection and think, what has this connection, this relationship taught me over the years? And a good way to look at that is, what things have you had to overcome and heal? What challenges have you gone through and grown through together? Have there been any particular setbacks? Is there something about this person that brings out a better side of you or a worse side of you? Look at different angles, and usually the answer is within there. So for many people, it's patience, understanding that things don't come overnight, that things take time, and other times it can be trust or unconditional love or self-love. Perhaps this person came to you to make you aware that actually you need to focus on self-love instead of putting everyone else first, perhaps even putting them first. It's almost like they shine some sort of mirror back at us, and that light can be so blinding. It can hurt, it can be painful, and it can throw us off target because we can't see the path clearly. um but if you can tune into that and see where that source is actually coming from, and just get in touch with it, get in the flow of it, then things can move forward into the direction they need to move in. And as I say, I feel for a lot of people, you end up staying longer than you need to. And most of that is fear. It's fear, or it's denial, or sometimes it is just, sheer ignorance. And I don't mean that to sound, harsh. It's just simply we can do this without realising. We can be on the sort of hamster wheel of life. We can get on with the day to day, and we don't realise how much time has passed, what may not have happened in those years, and what it is we desire. And I know at the minute that is one of the things that keeps cropping up, to sit and take some time inward to reflect on what it is you need, what it is you would like from your life, and whether or not you are in alignment with those people that are closest to you. That can be friends, family, a loved one, partner, whoever it may be. But looking and thinking, if you've been friends for 10 years, are you still in alignment now? Do you still have the same interests? Do you still have the same values? Do you understand each other? Do you hear each other? Do you feel seen, heard, understood, appreciated? Sometimes those expiry dates have already ceased, they've already been and gone, and it's a case of looking and feeling and just getting in touch with whether or not this is something you need to address or not. And don't beat yourself up if you feel that actually, yeah, you've been in a stagnant energy for some time, and you've kind of known perhaps that it's not the right thing to do. These things take time. It does take courage. It's not an easy decision to make. And as a soul, even though this is a karmic bond, you are soulmates. You are deeply bonded, connected. You've probably done this many, many times before, in many different lives, in many different positions, as different figures, male, female, parent, son, grandparent, whoever it may have been. You'll have swapped those roles around, and yet you will have been trying to teach each other the same lessons. You will have been helping each other to grow and learn and expand. And the more times you come back with that person, the stronger and the clearer that message comes through, and usually the earlier it comes through. So you might find that you're done with this person much earlier than you have been in a previous life. And you can have this many times. If any of you have been in touch with your past lives and sort of experienced those and had some flashbacks, sometimes you can think you're reliving the same thing over and over again. And it can be quite painful, because you think, why would I do this? Why would I put myself through this again? Why am I doing that? Because there is more to learn. Souls will learn always. You know, that is a continuous sort of journey of growth. There's no end point to it. So your soul may just want to type a few loose ends. They may just want to be that tiny bit clearer on it, or perhaps they just want to do a bit better job, you know, to come and do it with confidence and clarity. Um, or maybe there's another element coming in there. Maybe your soul is actually helping their soul. You can do that as well, where you look and think, well, what have I done to sort of help them along in their world, or what have I done to hinder their journey? Be realistic, be authentic when you're reflecting with yourself. Really stop and consider all angles, um, because there are answers within there. But I wanted to share that because I feel that it's really important for anybody who is in particular who is struggling at the moment, who is feeling that this is tiresome, it's a dead end, they're exhausted, depleted, you know, perhaps you want out, you're done with this. Then before you make any decisions based on those feelings, just take some time to reflect on how things have been up until this point, what you have learned, what you have gone through, um, and if there's anything else you feel that, you know, this person is here to teach you and help you sort of grow through. I hope that makes sense. Thanks for listening. Have a lovely day. Bye.